Hi, I'm Sue Boo, bringing crafting to you, and today we're going to make a fun fold get well card. Now I'm starting off with a piece of card. Let me just get my pieces. There we go. I'm starting off with a piece of card, excuse me, that measures 10.5 inches. So it measures 10.5 inches by 5. Then we're going to score that. Move these out of my way. Then we're going to score that at 3.5 inches. So you're going to score it at 3 inches, and then fold it over so that it makes you a card like that. Now I decided I'm going to use my embossing folders, so I've embossed all of my card. So I'll need that as well, won't I? So we've got that ready, we've folded that, use our bum folder to crease that. Let me just put my glue somewhere. So let's just leave that for a second. So bring that down. Do it on both sides. There we go. So you want the opening to your left hand side, and now we're going to mount some DSP and card on there. So I've got a piece of silver Miro card, and this measures 6 3/4 by 4 3/4. So we're going to mount this up on the inside. So this wants to go on the inside. Now I'm thrilled because the Splendid Day, which was in a, I don't know whether it was in a short catalogue or whether it was in the annual, I can't remember now, is in clearance. So you can get the Splendid Day dies and the Splendid Day stamp set. Highly recommend it. It will be something that I will be using. So if you do follow me and you want to use what I've got, then Splendid Day you need to invest in. Right. So this is 4 5/8 by 6 5/8, so that we just get that nice narrow border there. Okay, so I'm going to put that on. It's a shame to cover up the silver board, but I just wanted that little bit of board around. I do like, I'm using fresh freesia, and let's see, fine, I'll do it that way. So I've just got that slight bit of border around it. Okay. That is very slippy when it's on mirror board. Okay. Now we'll do the front while that's drying. It's the front piece. Yes, that looks right. Now this is used virtually a whole sheet of the fresh freesia. So you'll see the other pieces as they come up. So with doing that, it has made some where it goes into 16ths. So this measures, no, that's okay, that's 4 3/4 by 4 3/4, and it's the, I think it's, no, 4 3/4 by 3 1/4. So you mirror boards that, and So this will make a 5x7 card when it's finished. Just makes it that little bit bigger. So just make sure that you're lining up, so equal increment all the way around, lining up the top and the bottom of your card so that it follows through. Okay, and then the DSP to go on top of that. It measures 3 1/8 by 4 5/8. Okay, so decide on which way round I want it. Yeah, that'll do fine. So I love this paper. This was the paper that went with the Splendid Day when you could get it as a sweet. But any of your coordinating papers will work for this, of course. So you don't have to do it exactly the same as what I'm doing it. Okay, so that goes there. And let's have a look. Let's see, that might have been... Oh yeah, that's to go inside. I have got a piece and I didn't know whether, just so it's not bare when you open it up, I might just stick this piece in. And this, I want to stick that. Yeah, I think I'll just do it without the silver because it makes it too bulky. So this is where it's just 1/16 under 3 inches and it is 4 5/16. So when you're doing that, just put it to the 3 and then take it back that one little mark. Okay, and I'm going to put that there. I'm putting that there because I did cut it for the front bit and then decided it was too busy for what I wanted, so I took it off again, but I can make use of it. Way round I want it. Doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to stick that with equal increments all the way round. There we go. So that's the front and inside. Now, as I said, we're using all the cards. So again, I've embossed this, and this was part of the card that I got left. And so this measures 10 and that's it, measures 10. Score it down at 5 and the width of it is 3 5/16. So that is just one mark past the quarter mark. Okay, so let's fold this and burnish it. Just move that out of the way a minute. Okay, give it a good crease on both sides. This side, yeah, I think I'm going to have that. So we're going to stick this, excuse me, so that it's on our foil. So we want to close, just roughly put it on, close the door, and I want equal increments all the way round. So I'm going to be very careful because once you get it on the foil, my glue, it can start wrecking your foil. So I'm just going to be careful. Okay, and so I'm going to close it and close the door and just hover, and that's about it. So let's just square that, make sure that that is square. Happy with that. Open it up, make sure you've got that nice There we go. And pop that there. Well, actually, while we're working on it, I can just pop it there. And so this again is where we come in with our mirror board that has got, oh no, it's not that one, sorry. Oh, did I do that? I think actually, did I do that too? Put on there. I think I did. Or did I do it for the front? No, the front's there. Is that exactly the same as the front? No, it's not. So that's not for that part. Okay, right. Let's check that that is right. So, beg your pardon. So this is this is 3 and 1/16. So we need the 3 and then push it along this time, the 16th, and then measures by 4 3/4. So that's going to sit nicely on the front there. Now when they did this set, and you can always do gold and silvers and bronze and things like this for this one as well. As I say, you don't have to stick to the colour scheme that I've got. I'm just showing you the principle that you've got. I had the mirror board that was playing that went with this set, and I have put this through an embossing folder as well. And this measures 4 5/8 by 2 15/16. So if you just put it in at the 3 and then just take it back that 1 mark, okay, and then that's going to go on there. Okay. And just make sure that that's completely done there. Right, so I'm just going to put that on one side now. We've got the inside. Oh, that's why it's the inside piece. Oh, it's a good job I didn't stick it on the other. Right, so we'll do the inside piece of the silver. So that measures 4 3/4 by 3 1/16. So remember 3, pushing it along 1 mark. Okay, this goes on the inside, and you need to put it just here on this bit here. Okay, so I'm going to glue this on, and this will give the mirror board time to set. Okay, there we go. And then I've got a piece of white card that's going to go on there, and that measures, this is our basic white card, and this measures 4 5/8 by just under, so it's 2 15/16. So if you put it in at the 3, just pull it back the 1 little mark to do that. And we're going to do some stamping on this first. So I've got this lovely set. I was thrilled. This Courage and Faith it's called. So we're going to put this on here. So I'm using Highland Heather. That coordinates beautifully with our fresh freesia. Come to me. So I've got these two bits that beautiful. And then in the middle, oh dear, sorry. Oh, this is lovely verse from Numbers. Make sure I've got it. Put that in the middle. May the Lord bless you and keep you. Numbers 6:24. There we go. Lovely. And I think we will do a little bit of colouring. So I have got some bubble bath. So this coordinates beautifully with this fresh freesia. So let's do a bit of bubble bath, and I want a very, let's see if I've got soft sea foam. Yes, I have. I'm going to go very, very light, so I'm going to do soft sea foam. I'm just going to pull in my chair now. I don't often do the colouring live, but I'm going to have a pick the light one. Just let me just double check. Yes, soft sea foam light. So I'm going to go very light today, because I'm not using any colours anywhere else. I just want to do something very light. Can I have that as a flower? That's it. It's very warm today. Not complaining at all. It's fabulous. This is how summer should be, and it saves on all those heating bills. And I'm just going to push the side over. I should have done this side first, really. This one. Just giving it that hint of colour, soft sea foam. Now, if you haven't got soft sea foam in your blends, but you've got a wink of Stella, don't forget that you can use your wink of Stella and put soft sea foam on let's have a look at the colour of this. Which one do I want? Oh, I think I will go for I think this is dark. This is the dark bubble bath, yeah. So I'm going to go dark bubble bath. Lovely pink. What was I saying? It's terrible. Lose my train of thought. Oh yes, so if you've got Wink of Stella and you've got soft sea foam as an ink pad or as a stamping right marker, you can just put a little bit onto your ink pad. You've seen me do it many times, and colour with that, with your Wink of Stella, and you'll get a lovely shimmer bit to it. I do that quite a lot. I really like it, doing it. And when your Wink of Stella is running out, take it apart and add some of the alcohol into it, and it will make it go further. There we go. So there are our blends. Lovely. So now, excuse me, I'm going to stick that inside. That's really pretty. Pleased with that. And then just mark that on there. Okay, and then we're going to close that and start to mount that. Now, is that coming up with the heat? I think it's just me and looking at it. Okay, so I had an inch piece of card. It was just a scrap piece, but it was 1 inch wide. And when I looked through my stamp sets, I was sent a speedy recovery by mistake, but it's all in German. So the images are fine, and they told me to keep it. But it wasn't a stamp set I'd ordered. So I haven't really got anything current at all that's got get well, hope you feel better soon. But I noted this was on it called Punch Party, I think. It was a set called Punch Party, and it's hope you feel better really soon. So I've used the trio punch and punched out the card. So I cut it down to about half an inch to 3/4 of an inch more, and just put it in my trio punch. So it punched that, then I flipped it over to punch that, then I punched that, then flipped it back to punch that. So this is the shape that I've got, but I've decided that I want it a little bit more narrow, a bit slimmer. So what we're going to do is when I joined Stampin' Up, I got a fantastic amount, and this was something that we got. I'm going to take it back a little bit, so I want to just judge and get that straight. I'm going to take it a little bit at a time to see. Yeah, quite like that. So I'm going to just take that a little bit, just have to make sure it's short. So I'm just trimming it down. You could, if you've got long scissors, you could do that as well. So I think that's taking it down a bit, still got my curves in it and fancy bit. So I thought that was something different, and I more or less cut the same off, so don't play, keep it as that. So we've got that to start with as our sentiment. Now I have made these from the Cheerful Daisy, I think the set's called. So I've used the smallest. Must have got, what have I done with it? Oh, left it up here. Right, I'll just bring it. Okay, so this Splendid Thoughts is the set that I'm going to be using the dies from. So it's a lovely set, as I say. It's in clearance. If you follow me, get it. If you haven't got it, because I will be using this. So you've got all these lovely. So I've cut some of that out, that one out as well in the dies. I have cut, and I'll tell you what colours I've used as we go to them. So I've used Splendid Thoughts, because I say that's in clearance, and I've really loving this Cheerful Daisy set. So if you haven't got this and you follow me, you might like to get that. So I've used just the inside of the medium daisy. That's all I've used. So I've cut this out, and then what I've done is I've got my sponge dauber, and I've used my Highland Heather, and I've just inked up my Highland Heather and just splot down on it like that. So that's all we need to do. And then just move that out of the way a minute. And then what I've done is I have got a plain one, and I've kept the middle in, and I'm just rounding it down, and I'm only using my fingers because it's quite flimsy. I don't want to be pulling too hard with a bone folder or anything, because we could damage it. Right, so I've done that, so you can see it's rounding down. And then again, I've used the holding in the middle, and then I've rounded these up. Okay, so just going to round them up, and then I've just gone along and held this in place more or less by putting glue all around, and then that's going to sit on top, and I just slightly offset it, so you'll have to see, slightly offset it so that, and I picked it up and I held it together a second or two. So just make sure it is offset and just hold it there in place. So I'll just put that to one side now. So I've already done some of those, and then I have just used a glue dot now. Let me just pull that off a minute, it's all sticking to me. Right, so this one, all I've done is put a glue dot on the back of the leaves like this. So, oops, wrong place. So this is the front, and it's on the front. I'm just going to put that glue dot, okay? So I'm not bothered that it's bigger than it. That's absolutely fine. And I've just come in and just stuck this behind it. Now you'll notice on these leaves, now these leaves are, but you can use any sort of these type of leaves, and they don't have to be open, they could be closed as well. You'll notice on the leaves that I'll pull this one forward. One of them goes that way, and then one of them goes that way. So I've already put the one that goes that way on, and if you can see, this one goes that way. So I've put that one on to curve that way. I'm going to put another glue dot on the front. Okay. And then I'm going to stick this there as well. Okay. And just place that on its side for a minute. Right, so I've cut these out in silver, and so I've stuck one that way, stuck one that way, and then just stuck a silver one down the middle. So that's the Splendid Day die, and I've just done I'm just doing 2 of those, so we can stick this. Is there any glue dot left there to stick it on? Yeah, there is, and I'm just kind of just putting it in the middle of the leaves like that. So I've done 5 altogether, and now I'm sticking it the glue dot. Be careful when you put down. So I just go back over and just bring them down the bottom one and bring the top ones up. So there we go, and these ones can go down. Okay, and I'm just going to lightly put that, because I don't want to press it down, because it wants pressing down on here. Right, so let's move those out of the way a minute and bring back my feature in a minute. Right, so I'm going to start off with putting, this is again this is Gorgeous Grape, and this again is the Splendid Day dies. I don't know whether they're called Splendid Day. Let me just, because Stampin' Up, I've only just started really doing the dies the same names, which is very helpful. Splendid Stem dies, they're called Splendid, so it's still got the Splendid title, Splendid Stem dies. So I've cut this out in Gorgeous Grape, and I'm only going to stick down the actual stem, and I'm going to put that in the middle. So I'm going to put that in the middle. There we go. And then I'm going to start with my 2 that I've stuck my silver foliage on, and I'm going to use a glue dot, not a glue dot, sorry, a dimensional. So just get my dimensionals. I'm going to stick a dimensional on the back. So, and I'm going to make sure that it covers all of my things there. So I've got my glue dot, and it doesn't matter if it goes over. So I'm going to position it, and I don't mind that it's going over there, because that's coming back like that, and this will protect it. and then I'm going to stick another, get another, and sticking it right over where the stems are at the bottom, so that will protect those, keep those in place. And I'm going to stick that one going more upright up there, and again, now right, we can't do that unless I can move those. Oh, that's okay. So just be careful that you don't stick anything beyond this bend, because when it folds back, you'll start to ruin these. So make sure, so with my having glue dots, I've just been able to adjust that so that I've got freedom there. Then I've got one that's I've positioned, I'll put again. Each of these are going to have dimensionals on. So this will be a card that either you have to hand deliver. So I'm going to put this down here. You're either going to have to hand deliver it, or you're going to pay extra for postage. So there I go, and another one over the top. And I think I'll stick that there. And then our last one, again sticking over, and this one I stuck 3 on, and I'll stick that down in the corner. And then I think I'm going to round this, so I'm going to round it a little bit, so soften it and round it so that it will kind of come up and round. So, and I'm only going to stick one in the middle, so I'm going to stick one just in the middle, and then I'm going to bend these actually, so I'm going to bend those so that it will bend and round and tuck. So put that. Okay, and then we can commit. So that's just, oops, let's get that round. Okay, and then I've just got some gems. I'm going to put, these are rather large gems that I've got, and I'm just going to put those in the centre of each of my daisies. Right. Oops, where did that one go? There. And that goes there. And there. And oops. Gonna have you there. There we go. Now I did cut some other foliage out, and I'm just going to see whether it will tuck under, or whether I want to take a little bit off. Actually, I'm going to take a little bit off. I'm going to shorten this, so I'm going to shorten it in a way that I might be able to use that on something else. Don't know for definite, but yeah, I'm going to have that go under. So I'm just going to put a little bit of thing. Now I have to be careful because, as I say, my glue on the foil wrecks it. So put a little bit there, and I think we'll cut this a little bit shorter this time. So, oops, tuck that under there somewhere. So I'll put a little bit on the end. that can go under there. Just press it down a second or two to pick up the glue. And let's have a look. See if any of these bits will work. So I'm going to round that. Okay, and that's going to go in there. Now be careful about that edge again, that you do not stick beyond the edge. So I'm going to tuck that under so it doesn't go beyond that edge. Just make sure, it doesn't matter if it's level with it as long as it doesn't go. Now where's what's stopping that? I have to hold that there a second or two because to make sure. There. So look, yep, that's fine. And then may as well see if I can use this one as well. So rounding that. This is what I love about our scissors, because they are so sharp that and they are sharp to the very end. So when you're doing a job like this, you need it to cut right to the very end. There. Let's see. Yep, I think I'll put that in just there. So again, be very careful. Just press it down. There we go. So I think I'll tuck that under there so that can go in between. That's fine on that side, so just make sure it's all right. And then you can just write, because this is a light coloured card, I would just probably write on the back, because when it's displayed, I'll try and hold it in position. When it's displayed, you're going to see inside. So I prefer when I do cards like this to actually write on the back. So I hope you like that. It's just a nice get well card for somebody to have a look at while they're not feeling well. Give them a little cheer up and saying, may the Lord bless you and keep you. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. Do appreciate that you've stopped by. Stay safe, stay well. God bless for now.